They said majority draw. They cheated Roach. Roach got robbed. A majority draw. They cheated Roach. They cheated Roach. Look at Jake. Everybody know they cheated him. Everybody know they cheated Roach. Everybody know they cheated Roach. Roach got robbed. And everybody knows it. And it was a 10-8 while they robbed him. They robbed Roach. Roach beat Tank. They robbed him. Rematch right away. They robbed him. And it was a knockdown 10-8.
I mean, definitely an off night for Tank, but Lamont Roach is the guy, man. He showed up, and Tank gave him a tremendous amount of respect in the fight, and we saw why. I mean, he's a great counterpuncher. He's very high boxing IQ. He always says, I hit harder than people think. I hit harder than my record says. He stunned Tank several times. You know, Tank looked like the guy with the heavier hands, but Lamont had the better chin. So it's all relative, you know. So it doesn't, if Tank hits real hard, but the guy can take it, doesn't really matter. And I thought Roach was brilliant tonight. He had a good game plan, but those early rounds are what haunts him. He's gonna lay up at night, hit that. He wasn't a little more aggressive early on, because early on there wasn't much going on. There was time for him to take places for him to steal those rounds. And obviously he didn't. I want to see what the official scorecard breakdown was and how they had everybody in which direction and which rounds. But I mean, super close fight. I could have edged it for Tank. Lamont obviously had great rounds. He was able to wobble Tank a few times. He got wobbled himself one time with a right hook, but I don't know, man.
Rate the
Roach won the story.
Roach won the story.
Roach won the story. He didn't get the win, but he won the story.
Now, who you thought won? Lamont.
You thought Lamont won? By how many rounds?
I don't know.
You still want the Tank Davis fight?
So what?
You still want the Tank Davis fight? What went wrong? What went wrong? Take out a little steam or fire out of it, or is it still the same?
I mean, we're gonna see. I'm the best fighter in boxing. I've been saying this, so.
Shakur, what went wrong for Gervonta in this fight? Just because, could we say maybe because Lamont didn't come in, they really...
I think he got overconfident. I think he was thinking Lamont wasn't that good. I told everybody how the fight was gonna go. The fight went exactly how I said. Exactly.
After seeing this performance from Gervonta, do you believe your confidence has gone a little bit more up?
My confidence been up. I've been knew I was the best.
You know, in the early rounds, it looked as though Tank was doing what he does and setting up a possible knockout or a probable knockout, which was what most people expected to see. And then over the course of the next several rounds, you saw that maybe the opponent, Lamont Roach, actually got stronger, moving up 5 pounds to 135 pounds. He was able to take Tank shots without ever really being in any serious trouble. That, I think, was unusual and disconcerting for Tank. He got a little desperate in the late rounds and began throwing much more than is normally the case. It created action. It created excitement. There was tension in the audience. It was a memorable fight. And I want to see a rematch as rapidly as a rematch can be made.
It was a close fight.
I'm not surprised the way Lamont fought. I knew Lamont was going to come to fight. It was an opportunity of a lifetime. He did a good job. He fought a great fight.
What went wrong with Tank Davis? I mean, I was
what was wrong with him?
Out.
Every night in boxing is not your best, you feel me? But at least you got the draw.
Would you like to see a rematch of this or jump into a fight with Shakur Stevenson?
They don't, whatever they want to do. Did you think it was a draw? I don't know. I thought it was a good fight.
Lamont Roach beat Tank. That I'm not even, we got to take it one step at a time. Lamont, no matter what, Lamont Roach was robbed of a knockdown. Glad I bought the fight. Damn near had the bubble guts. Yep. With that unofficial knockdown, Tank should have lost. I'm saying they robbed him of the knockdown. They robbed him of the knockdown. And Steve Willis is the best ref in the business. Tank took a knee, got up, and went to the corner and got his face wiped by a towel. Now, maybe Roach is just that good. Oh, I tell you this, he beat Tank. Whatever it is, he beat Tank. Tarver couldn't beat everybody, but he beat Roy. He beat Roy, bro. He couldn't beat Bernard Hopkins. He struggled. He lost to Glenn Johnson. Yeah, but he beat Roy. That's because Tarver knew Roy. Roach knows Tank.
I mean, you gotta understand, can't underestimate the underdog, bro. He's hungry, you know what I mean? They wasn't giving him no credit. They were making us see it was a slouch that you could run over. You can't do that in boxing. Anything can happen. You can have a great night, believe that. You gotta believe in your soul, and I think the kid was in there with his soul tonight. It was a good fight, don't get me wrong. And to me, it could have went either way.
Either way.
Could have went either way.
So you okay with a draw?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, a draw is not a loss or a win. For the fighters, it's like...
No. I know you're not okay with the draw, pal. Let me make sure I clear that up. You're okay with the draw in this fight?
I think they did right.
Yeah.
It could have went either way. They chose a draw, one judge. So I think it's cool. I mean, they want to run it back, they can, but I won't do it. I just keep moving.
So, I mean, that's an interesting statement, but let me ask you this. Do you think in round 9 that was a knockdown, what happened with Tank?
Well, it wasn't a knockdown. He took a knee.
You should have counted technically.
No, you're right, but the ref didn't do it because he said his mouthpiece was in his mouth. Was it the mouthpiece?
Honestly, I don't know. I can't wait to ask them what it was.
I think it was the mouthpiece. I'm thinking. He was saying his mouthpiece.
I think it was his eye. That's what I saw on the camera, but I didn't hear. I wasn't listening to the fight. I was watching live.
The mouthpiece, but the thing, he took a knee as a count, as basically a legal knockdown.
And if they do?
Yeah, but the ref said no, but the judge could still count it as a knockdown.
Oh.
He's a judge. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
Just because the ref said it wasn't a knockdown, you could still, as a judge, can decide what it was to you. You're a judge. You do what the fuck. Nobody tell you what to do. You do what you want to do.
Should they have counted it as a knockdown?
He took a knee
in
because something was wrong. That he thought it was wrong that he could do that. He probably thought he was still in the amateurs. You know, in the amateur, take a knee.
Yeah.
You know, it's things that you do sometimes. Flashback when you was younger, and you think you could still get away with it. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was a good fight. Well, I think it was a great fight, believe it or not, because Roach made it a great fight.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure.
It was a good fight.
What'd you think about the performance? You thought it was a fair decision?
Yeah, definitely, man. I thought they both put it out there. Roach definitely showed up and did his thing. But Gervonta Davis is the champ, and it takes a lot to be able to beat the champ. But Roach definitely had something that we all wasn't expecting. Right in the power, his combinations as well. He definitely came to fight, man. He got great skills, and it was a great fight overall.
There was a moment where it seemed like he was kind of like bullying the bully. You think that was kind of a part of the tactic?
Yeah, I was surprised too because Roach is a little bigger than I thought. I didn't think he was going to be able to do what he did, but he ended up doing it. Man, congratulations to both fighters for making it happen and stepping up to the plate. And man, they went toe to toe at times, so it was great. It was great.
You think if they do a rematch, it'll be kind of a similar fight, or you think one will be able to make it?
I think it'll be a little different. Similar but a little different. I think there'll be a little bit more aggression next time around. I think there's more spots they could have picked early on, but they did. Like I said, Roach might have power that he was catching them clean. Gervonta looked like the shits was whatever, but he definitely came back to showcase his skills and hot as well as digging some body shots and stuff like that. But man, it was a good.
Before the fight, Teddy Atlas believed Lamont Roach put up a solid effort, but Gervonta Davis was simply too skilled and powerful. Davis's ability to spot openings, time his punches perfectly, and control the fight made the difference. While Roach had his moments, he lacked the extra level of skill or power needed to truly challenge Tank.
What can I tell you? Lamont Roach, I've interviewed him in the past. I got to know him a little bit. He's a great kid. I like the way he's only got one loss. I like the way that he boxes. He's versatile. He could do a lot of things. He could go get you. He's got the attitude of a fighter. He's not a huge puncher. Obviously, Tank Davis is the puncher in this, but Roach could go get you.
After analyzing the fight, Atlas noted that Roach has strong fundamentals and a high boxing IQ, showing a deep understanding of strategy and technique. Given how dangerous Tank Davis is, he suggested that Roach should focus on movement, angles, and disciplined counterpunching rather than standing in the pocket and trading shots.
I think he should stay away from trying to go on the inside, which again, he's got the attitude of a real fighter, which you love. And I wouldn't be shocked if Roach said, oh, no, I'm going to go inside sometimes. I don't know that that would be the best choice. He knows how to do it if he wants to. At the end of the day, all of what I said, Bud, it's one thing that really makes today. It's not because Tank Davis is just undefeated. It's not because Tank Davis is just a great puncher. He's just a full pack.
Gervonta Davis is one of the biggest challenges of Lamont Roach's career. Roach expressed unwavering confidence, built from his past experiences, determination, and refusal to accept anything less than victory.
It was like you have a different confidence than most other people. Where do you feel like that comes from?
That's just how I'm wired, bro. I ain't never backed down from nothing. I damn sure ain't never wanted to come second to anything. So, why?
Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. had faced off in the amateurs, each having their own version of how things went down. But now, there were no more debates or excuses. Their professional showdown would finally settle the score, leaving their amateur history behind.
That you guys, fought in the amateurs, you've had sparring sessions. Can you use any of those past experiences with Tank going forward into this fight March 1st?
He can't. He lost.
No, don't answer my question, bro. What I'm about to say, logically, even though I think I won both of them fights, not really. It was so long ago. We was like 16.
In the tournament twice. I beat them in the state, and then they did something
beat me
like...
in the regionals. They cheated in Baltimore, took a point from me, fool. Come on.
Sean Porter raised an interesting point. Roach knows Tank well, and that could be dangerous for Davis. Now that the fight is over, Roach used that knowledge to his advantage. Porter believes Roach's experience from their amateur battles and sparring sessions gave him a unique insight into Tank's style.
What are your thoughts of the fight?
I tell you what, the fact that Lamont Roach is as familiar with Tank Davis as he is, it goes beyond them fighting in the amateurs. They've spent time in camp together. He's been around Tank. He's seen Tank up close and personal, whether he's in the ring with them or not. That matters. When you know a guy's rhythm, when you know their speed, when you know what they're thinking, that changes everything.
American boxer Sean Porter shared his thoughts on the fight, emphasizing that if Gervonta Davis lands a clean shot, it could be over instantly. He believes Roach might put up a competitive fight, but everything would change the moment he gets hit by Tank's power.
Matter when he get hit, he going to sleep. Just wait for it. This might be a fight until he gets hit. And again, he's tasted that before. So if he gets hit and he doesn't go away, we got a fight on our hands, I think it's a good fight. I think that there's better fights for Tank Davis, but this is a good fight for him.
Calvin Ford reflected on the long-standing rivalry between Davis and Roach, dating back to their Silver Gloves days, which added extra intensity to their fight. Despite criticism, he fully supported the matchup, calling it a huge opportunity for both fighters and the boxing world. Ford praised Roach for stepping up and promised fans an electrifying showdown.
Each other from the amateurs, Silver Gloves, everything. They grew up actually together, Roach and him, back and forth battles and whatnot. It's going to be a pretty interesting fight, you know what I'm saying? Because Roach he come to fight. And I think it's a great fight. Everybody talking all that stuff about, why Roach? Because he signed and took the fight, you know what I'm saying? And it's good for the community.
And Tank have history. What can you tell us about their history and how that's going to play into the fight come fight night?
They got amateur history. They fought maybe 2 or 3 times. Tank being the winner. They sparred a few times. Tank got the best of the sparring. They just bigger and stronger now,
Kenny Ellis highlighted the deep-rooted rivalry between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach, from their intense sparring sessions to their heated amateur battles. This time, there were no head guards or point systems, just high-stakes boxing under the bright lights.
Man, Tank, last 4 or 5 opponents all had film about how they beat him up in sparring. If that's the case, that shit happen. But fight night, we all know the outcome.
Big Tim wasn't just confident, he was convinced. He believed Roach was more than ready for this moment and would shock the world on fight night. According to Tim, Roach wasn't just making a name for himself in the ring, but also proving himself as a person, a true champion in every sense. He promised Roach's performance wouldn't just meet expectations, but shatter them.
Will
one thing I can say, he's ready, and he will shock the world. I think a lot of people are now starting to realize and know who he is, not just as a person, but as a fighter. And he's a hell of a fighter. He's a great world champion. And he's going to put it on display March 1st. He's going to shock the world. He's going to shock the world.
Big Tim fully believed in Roach's abilities. While he acknowledged the challenge Davis presented, he saw Roach as well-prepared and determined to rise to the occasion. According to Tim, Roach's skill, mindset, and preparation would ultimately lead to victory, leaving Davis on the losing end when the final bell rang.
Absolutely, absolutely. And he's so focused and ready. He's to the point where I don't care who you put in there with him. Excuse my French. You're going to take an ass whooping, so he's ready. He's ready.
Was there a moment in one of the sparring sessions where you kind of wanted to look at the other side and be like, yo, just get this fighter out, get him out?
No, that's what you signed up for. It depends, you know. Tank don't want to submit, lay down. We're going to put him down. But overall, he's going to get ass.
Gervonta Davis delivered exactly what he promised, destruction. Despite the talk about Roach's sneaky skill set and potential advantages, Tank imposed his will, proving once again that his power was on another level. From the opening bell, Davis dictated the pace, landing punishing shots that wore Roach down. While Roach's team hyped up his size, strength, and strategy, not everyone was convinced he was a real threat to Davis. Coach Bullet didn't hold back. He made it clear exactly where he stood on this fight.
He doesn't have a chance. Tank is a very experienced, high IQ. The only person that could have beat Tank was Rolly. I keep telling people that. Nobody's going to beat him because they don't bring nothing to the table to make him scared, to puzzle him, to make him, panic or open his eyes like a deer in hell.
According to Coach Bullet, this fight wasn't just about skill. It was about applying real pressure. In his view, Roach didn't bring the kind of danger that would force Tank to switch into another gear. But that's where the risk came in. When fighters don't feel truly tested, they can sometimes get complacent. Bullet recognized that possibility, but even then, he had no doubt. Tank was still in full control.
So, this fight with Roach, it's Tank selling the fight. You know what I'm saying? Everybody saying, hey, but it's boxing. I'm gonna give you 1,000. If Tank could get himself up to really fight this kid properly, he could really hurt him bad. But sometimes a good fighter, it's hard for him to get up for certain fights. And that's what I see in boxing a lot of time for many years. So I'm glad Roach was talking some mess to him. So maybe he'll put a little fire in him. So we see.
After the fight, promoter Eddie Hearn shared his thoughts, saying that while it was a decent fight, Roach was simply too small for Tank. He pointed out that the bout wasn't well received because Roach lacked name recognition. Hearn stated, "If you know boxing, you know it's a good fight, but he's a super featherweight. He's much smaller than Tank. I don't think it's a bad fight, but it was received terribly because no one knows who Lamont Roach is." Meanwhile, in the debate over Roach's chances against Davis, Gary Russell initially played it safe, saying that anyone who steps in the ring has a chance. But when pushed for a real answer, he didn't hold back. If both fighters were at 100%, Roach wouldn't stand much of a chance. Still, Russell didn't completely rule out an upset, reminding everyone that boxing is unpredictable.
Lamont Roach have a chance to win this fight?
I think anybody that steps in the ring has a chance at winning the fight. I'm not going to say that he doesn't have a chance at winning.
You just told me a second ago. Stop it. Ain't no perception. Give it to me straight, Gary. Can Lamont win this fight?
I'm gonna give it to you straight.
All right.
I think we can get there. Tank can get injured or get hurt the day before, and something could occur. And if Lamont shows up, he can possibly...
Gary Russell didn't sugarcoat his assessment of Roach's chances against Davis. While he admitted the fight might be competitive early on, he made it clear that as the rounds went on, Tank's power and skill would take over. Russell stated, "No, I don't think Roach is going to win the fight. I think it'll be interesting in the first half, but in the later rounds, Tank's going to take over." He believed Roach had solid fundamentals that could make things tricky for Davis early on. Roach's reach, disciplined boxing IQ, and solid technique might force Tank to be more patient. But as the fight progressed, Davis's power would become the deciding factor. As the dust settled, one thing became clear. This fight wasn't just about winning or losing. It was a battle for dominance. Did Tank once again prove why he's one of the most feared fighters in the game? Or did Roach shock the world with his relentless speed and power? One thing's for sure, this fight will be talked about for a long time. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more boxing updates. Thanks for watching.